I've been a gamer since I was 6 years old. Sega, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. I've owned something from almost every generation. And with it came a lot of games. Probably more than I'd care to count. Somewhere in the last few years, I stopped buying physical games completely. And if I think about it, the last physical game I bought was Tactics Ogre Reborn on the PS5. But before that, I couldn't even tell you. And I'm sure it's not just me. We are becoming more and more digital as a culture. You can buy a PS5 without a disk drive. That's just nuts to me, man. We have access to tens of thousands of titles at literally the push of a button. Realistically, I could never go to another game shop and still play whatever I like. But life completely changed at 11/17, 28th of April, 2024. That was the time that I became a father. Obviously, life changes, and it takes time to figure out what life will look like when you have a new baby. And to be honest, I wasn't sure if I would get back into gaming. But, a little time passed and my son's schedule started to, be a bit more consistent, and I did find myself slowly getting back into it. And to be honest, not having to go out and find games and purchase games, when I didn't have that much time, it was really easy to just jump onto Steam and just pick up something that was on sale. And I just went right back into just owning more and more digital titles. One of the things you notice when you have kids is even though they're tiny, they have so much stuff. And it really made me want to think about changing how I approach my own stuff. I've considered the nature of my relationship with gaming, and I've decided to make a change. So not just decluttering, but I'm making an intentional change with how I approach this hobby. So I'm going back to physical media, and I'm starting with this bad boy. The PS2. I'm restricting myself to 20 titles. Not the rarest, not the most expensive, but the ones that mean the most to me. So the thing is, retro gaming is expensive. Even though the titles may not necessarily be considered expensive, buying physical media can get dear. And being a parent is also expensive. So what I've decided is that I'm going to rebuild my collection, my PS2 collection, and I'm going to do it without spending any money. So all the games that I purchase are going to be done by selling things that I already own that no longer fit the intentional shift that I'm going for. So before we start, this is the current wall, the current collection, but I think we can do a little bit better than that. So let's do that. All right, let's have a quick squiz, shall we? All right, so down here, I've got some hardcovers that I've collected over the years. So Xenoblade, Zelda, you've got the Hyrule Historia, a couple of amiibos. Obviously, got to have my Millennium Falcon, Avatar. Anyone knows me, knows I love Avatar. And here we have some GameCube games, not that many. My old GameCube and the PS2 that we spoke about earlier. I have a couple titles for the PS2 collection, as you can see. Not that many, but it's a start. Then we have the good old Switch collection. Then we have PS4, PS5, definitely less PS5 than PS4. And I've actually taken a bunch of these out to use as trade fodder. And last one up the top here, just a few 64 games. And yeah, a Pokeball gift from a friend of mine. And what do we we got here? So the games that I'm going to sell, the first two games I'm going to sell, are Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. I have loved Pokemon for as long as I've remembered, but I feel like now these particular titles don't fit on, my shelf the way that I'd like them to, so I'm okay with letting them go. And it's not an aesthetics thing, it's more just a feelings thing. Like, I've loved Pokemon for a long time, but recently I've fallen out of love with the game and the series as a whole. So I'm gonna let these titles go. I don't know how much I'm gonna get for them. The prices on eBay kind of go up and down depending on condition. These aren't in the best condition, they're definitely not in the worst condition, but I think I'd love to see them go to someone who will truly cherish and enjoy these titles. I have some additional titles here that we're bringing along today that have a lesser value, that just don't fit into the intentional collection that I'm trying to make. So we have a few Switch titles, Switch Sports. I loved Wii Sports, but I think I've only played this one once. Let's Go Pikachu, which admittedly I did play a lot, but as you probably guessed, I'm moving past my Pokemon phase. And I also have a few GameCube titles here, and look, I love my GameCube, but the point of this challenge is to build a shelf that just brings me so much joy when I look at it, and the truth is that none of these titles do that for me. So before we wrap up, this is my wanted poster. So these are the PS2 titles that we'll be chasing through this challenge, and to add to my intentional collection. So each of these games, either I've played growing up, or they've meant something to me at some time in my life, or there's something that I've really wanted to play and I never got a chance to for any specific reason. So obviously you've got your GTA, big games, loved them growing up. Bully, oh man, I had so many fond memories. I feel like this was my retribution from high school. Warriors, man, this is like a gem for me. I found this game randomly and I just absolutely loved it. And I found out there was a movie. I mean, Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, like, what can I say? These games just define so much of my PS2 era. God of War and God of War 2, these are two titles that I haven't played, but as I've gotten older and I've had a deeper appreciation for stories, I've really, really wanted to dive into God of War, so I'm excited about getting those two. Shadow of Colossus is another big one that I always wanted to get when I had my PS2 and when I was playing it. It's just, I never had the opportunity, so I'm really looking forward to diving into that one as well. Obviously Final Fantasy X, X to 12, so Final Fantasy has meant more and more to me as I've gotten older, so I'm really looking forward to exploring these titles as well. A few other ones. SSX Tricky, played this for a long time with my brothers and my dad, had so much fun. I think we unlocked everything that we could possibly unlock, so I'm excited for that. Dark Cloud 1, also Dark Cloud and Dark Chronicle, otherwise known as Dark Cloud 2. These games kind of defined my RPG experience, and I absolutely love them and I can't wait to track them down again. I actually already have a copy of Dark Chronicles. That's one of the few that I have. So Xenosaga, this is one that I never knew about, and I think what happened with this one is I played Xenoblade, those games. I absolutely love them. When I found out that, these games kind of similar creators, similar story ideas, I just had to check it out. The only reason 2 is here is because 1 and 3 never came to Australia. And my good old fighters, like, I loved Budokai growing up, had so much fun. Oh, my boy Naruto, I absolutely adore. And yeah, that's my wanted list. Hopefully that gives you guys a bit of idea what we're chasing. And stay tuned for a preview of episode 2. They didn't sell. Parking is rubbish. Whoa, the parking gods are with us today, guys. I'm sure, innocent mistake, I'll go in store and have a chat with him. I don't know where the entrance is, so he's looking at me like, am I gonna wimp out on this? There's a lot of really cool stuff here. The whole time he's just having a laugh, he's just laughing at me like it's some sort of joke. And we picked that up for like $12 before. Usually my maths isn't too bad, but I'm not good at maths under pressure. Only one title from there, but that's alright, it is what it is.